So Aliens is one of the most ripped-off successful movie franchises of the 1980s, and given that the oceans are, by and large, just as mysterious, unexplored and scary as outer space, it did make kind of a bit of sense that at least some of these imitators would take to the high seas with their alien copy plots and stories. So there was not only one, but two alien rip-offs set in the ocean depths in 1989. So the first was Leviathan, starring Peter Weller of Robocop fame, and Richard Crenna from First Blood, and Daniel Stern from Chud. So quite an outstanding cast, and not to mention Meg Foster from They Live. But we aren't here today to talk about Leviathan. We're here to talk about the almost identical DeepStar 6. So the premise of DeepStar 6 is that we have a group of Navy divers, Navy people working deep in the ocean, building an undersea missile base of all things. Apparently Uncle Sam's run out of terrestrial real estate to exploit for weapons of mass destruction, so he's taken to the seas for an all-new frontier of death and destruction. So our motley crew of underwater personnel are largely unknown actors, but we do have the always unhinged, always entertaining Miguel Ferrer of Robocop fame. And we have Matt McCoy, best remembered from Police Academy 5, and as Frank Costanza's nephew. So in Police Academy 5, he was Commandant Lazard's nephew, and in Seinfeld, he was Frank Costanza's nephew. So that's a couple of fantastic bloodlines, to say the least. So basically our heroes unwittingly awaken an ancient underwater creature while blasting in a cavern, and the rest of the movie basically plays out like Alien, of course, as our heroes have to improvise with what they have at hand to try and send the beastie back to Davy Jones's locker. The mythical man of the ocean, that is, not the guy out of the Monkees, who was also called Davy Jones. But it'd be easy enough to confuse the two. It's also easy enough to confuse DeepStar 6 with Leviathan. I mean, they both have a notable Robocop actor playing a major role, both rip off aliens, and both are set at the bottom of the ocean. DeepStar 6, though, is a little more memorable for me personally. Sean S. Cunningham, best remembered for Friday the 13th, as the director, so you won't be surprised to find out that it does have a few slasher movie tropes and a little bit of a slasher movie flavour that keeps life interesting. And a couple of my favourite memorable scenes involve a nasty little device called a shark dart. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. And of course, there's a big pinch of paranoia, a la The Thing. But this one's a bit less of a sausage fest than The Thing was. So DeepStar 6 isn't terribly original, I guess you'd say, but it is a lot of fun. If you've seen the Aliens movies too many times, but still want something that shares the DNA, I guess, of Aliens, this might be the movie for you. So Miguel Ferrer is obviously gloriously unhinged as always, as the slightly shady guy, the kind that cuts every corner, especially as he spirals into deep sea cabin fever. And I reckon the perfect double bill for this one would be Leviathan, of course, or even the inspiration for the movie, Aliens, the inspiration for both movies. So yeah, basically that is DeepStar 6. Pretty cool undersea version of Aliens, I guess you'd say. Quite claustrophobic, quite full of paranoia. In terms of social commentary, it is all about claustrophobia, paranoia, fear of the unknown, fear of the other. And in this one, basically people that work quite closely together do become the other when times get tough, when times get stressful, which we've all seen examples of in real life in recent years, to say the least. A lot of people not talking to family members, not talking to friends, because they've been under, let's say, heavy social stress due to geopolitics and pandemics and so on and so forth. So a lot of that commentary, that social commentary, is present in DeepStar 6, and it is a good companion piece to Leviathan. Both movies are slightly different. Leviathan's more of a body horror movie, I'd say, whereas DeepStar 6 is more of a conventional aliens / xenomorph movie. So in that regard, they do differ a little bit, at least more than they do at face value, or more than you'd expect. And Leviathan's more of a David Cronenberg take on Aliens, I guess, whereas DeepStar 6, as I said, is more of a Sean S. Cunningham slasher movie take on Aliens. So they are both quite different movies and would both make a good double bill with each other. So if this is your first time visiting the channel, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I try to upload about once a week or more where possible. And as I said, if you did enjoy this review, please like, share and subscribe, especially if you've been here before and you are enjoying the content. It's a beautiful day out here, beautiful late afternoon, and we're in daylight savings, which is great here in Australia. So hope you enjoy the rest of the day and I'll enjoy the rest of my evening.